Well, last week I went to lend a hand with what must be one of the biggest do-it-yourself jobs in the country. Hammerwood Park is near East Grinstead. It was built by Benjamin Henry Latrobe in 1792 as a hunting lodge, and is one of only 2 country houses he built before he emigrated to America in 1795. In America, Latrobe found fame and fortune. He became one of the nation's first architects and designed the Capitol building and the House of the President, the White House in Washington. Hammerwood has had a checkered history. It's been a family home, was requisitioned by the army during the Second World War, and has been a prep school. In 1973, it was bought by the rock group Led Zeppelin as a recording studio, but they never got round to using it. For 9 years, the house fell into disrepair, and it wasn't until 1982 that its present owner, David Pinnaker, bought it and decided on the restoration job of a lifetime.
Hello, Caron. So to see you. Come in.
Thank you. This is a wonderful house.
Well, it's sort of different.
It doesn't actually look too bad at the moment. What was it like when you first moved in?
It was terrible. You couldn't come in front doors. They'd boarded up. Yeah. And there was water pouring through the ceilings in 14 different places. Can you imagine it? You know, one moved in not with booms and hoovers, as one normally does to a new house, but shovels and barrows.
This is what Hammerwood looked like 6 years ago when David moved in. Most of the original plasterwork had disappeared, and what remained needed replacing. It's a never-ending task for the many volunteers who have learnt their trade helping the restoration. Ian Taylor, who is working on one of the hall's 2 archways, is one of those helpers. Ian, this is a special type of plaster.
Yes, it's casting plaster. It's the same as they use in hospitals for broken limbs.
Oh, right. So you literally just put it on the bottom.
That's right. You have to put quite a bit of pressure on it. Keep pushing against this rib.
And just go right up?
That's right the way up. That's it.
Oh, wow. And can you use this again?
Yeah, you put that back on
the board.
And start again. You must make sure you keep everything really clean as well, because this stuff goes off like lightning.
Right. Other repairs were more difficult and used more plaster.
And this wall, this actually took 5 tons of plaster.
Really?
Yes, it was quite shattered.
Don't you ever worry that you've taken on too big a job?
Oh, no, not at all. It's simply like a Meccano set, and you just have to put it together piece by piece.
No, I don't want to be rude or anything, but it is absolutely freezing in here. How do you manage to keep warm?
I'm sorry, I'd forgotten. I don't notice it myself. You have to wear lots of clothes, and there is a secret.
What?
Long johns. Look.
Oh, look at this, yes. How glamorous.
Well, I do try and persuade people they're glamorous, but nobody seems to want to wear them. The problem is nowadays that property developers turn houses like this into flats. They carve them up. Houses like this were built as a home to live in, and I want to turn it back into what it was and show how people lived.
David is determined to get all the details right. He wants to restore the house exactly as it was over a century ago. Many of the antique items he's collected are still in use because Hammerwood is now David's home, and his bedroom really has to be seen to be believed. Oh, it's brilliant. I love it.
So you approve?
Yeah.
Well, you can't have it.
I want it. Oh, it's great. What a class bed.
But it's also super because it's just right for the date of the house. The pineapples were known as the architectural fruit of the 18th century. You see, the pineapples were only recently discovered then and bought from faraway places.
So, like, really good thing to have in your furniture.
That's right. You've got to remember that this place 5 years ago was totally derelict, but nobody believes me when I tell them.
So you put the staircase and everything?
Yes, there was a terrible thing that was rotted here. It was awful. Some people think this thing's a sort of dinner gong or something, and it's quite fun.
The dining room is next door, but no one has sat down to eat here for many years. Was the whole house like this when you moved in?
Yes, the whole house. The whole of this east wing was just like this. The ceilings were on the floors just about hanging up there. One chap came in here and he said, "My goodness, Dave, you've got the best dry rot I've ever seen. You know, you ought to preserve it." It looks like a fire, but it's not a fire. It's just a fungus that's sucked wood dry.
Dry rot fungi thrives in damp conditions, so David repaired the roof and dried out the walls before beginning all the restoration work inside. But last October's storms damaged the roof and put the whole house under threat once more. We headed for the roof via the attic.
Is it safe enough up here? Oh, yes, perfectly safe. No dry rot up here.
Wow, look at all this stuff. Did you find it here or did you bring it with you?
Oh, no, we've collected things for years and years and years, and we haven't got enough room in the house.
You haven't got enough room?
No, no. Have to be careful with heads on beams and things. Let's come up.
Okay.
Oh. Have to be careful up at the top. It's quite high up. All right.
Yeah, you get a marvellous view from up here.
I know, it's wonderful. It's quite high. The view's even better now because after the storm, so many trees have come down.
The storm crumpled 3 large sections of lead sheeting. George Biddlecombe, who's a building craftsman, was concerned that unless they were replaced quickly, the rooms underneath would be wrecked again. And what kind of weight would they be?
Approximately 200 weight each.
Really?
And our biggest problem is getting them up here, the new pieces up here, because we cannot use this again.
Sheets of lead are far too heavy to carry by hand, so the Army agreed to help David with a Lynx helicopter from 656 Squadron Army Air Corps at Netheravon. But the helicopter brought its own worries because of the violent downdraft created by its rotors. George rigged a safety line on the instructions of the officer in charge, Lieutenant Adam Ferguson.
So, Sergeant Benning, if you make sure that your harness is attached, you've got a harness with you?
I have brought an harness and I will be attached.
Clip it onto the rope between the 2 chimney stacks, and that will be fine. And, Karen, I think you'll be safe so you come with us in the aircraft.
Oh, that sounds like a very good idea.
Sounds great fun.
Brilliant. Shall we go?
OK.
And so began Operation Lead Lift. The rolls of lead were heavy enough to knock down a chimney or go straight through the roof if dropped. So while Lance Bombardier Gary Fraser guided the pilot from above, Sergeant Sean Bannion did the same from below.
Slow down. Okay, hold it there.
If the wind changed direction unexpectedly, Hammerwood could easily lose a chimney.
Bring it down, bring it down, bring it down. Bring it down, bring it down. I've got the load. He's unhooked.
The first of the 3 rolls had been delivered, and within half an hour, all the lead was in position on the roof. Operation Lead Lift had gone without a hitch.
International rescue.
Yeah, isn't it wonderful house?
Marvellous.
Brilliant. It's got so much work ahead of them there.
Yeah.
Let's hope none of the gales have damaged the house this week.
No, I think it's okay, it's fine.
It's all right.
That's good. It's a lovely, brilliant picture.
So then at the top you see it just say Radio Times up there. And then it'll say 30 years on the top.